Alex Collins, a former running back for the Seattle Seahawks and Baltimore Ravens who played 5 seasons in the NFL and USFL, was died in a motorbike accident in South Florida, according to the authorities. He was 28. According to a news release from the Broward County Sheriff's Office, Collins was operating a motorbike when it collided with a sport utility vehicle on Sunday night near Lauderdale Lakes, Florida. Collins' motorcycle collided with the back passenger side of the SUV as it was making a left turn. Collins entered the SUV through one of the windows after being struck, according to the sheriff's office. Collins' demise was confirmed on the spot. Authorities claimed the SUV driver, whose identity was withheld, stayed at the site and assisted the investigation. Between 2016 to 2018 and 2020 to 21, Collins played 5 NFL seasons with the Ravens and Seahawks. He later played for the Memphis Showboats in the USFL in 2023. Monday night, the Seahawks issued a statement from Collins' family. Alex was loved by his relatives, friends, and admirers from all around the world. Everyone who actually knows him can vouch for his zeal, tenacity, and larger-than-life demeanor, according to the statement. We kindly ask that you keep our family in your thoughts and prayers during this trying time. Coach John Harbaugh of the Ravens praised Alex as someone whose light shone brightly and who was a joy to be around. I'll always remember him as a fantastic teammate who had a positive outlook on life that affected everyone he came into contact with. We offer Alex's family our sincere sympathies and support. In his NFL career, Collins rushed for 1,997 yards. He played for the Seahawks during his first season, then the Ravens for the following 2. Before spending 2 more seasons in Seattle in 2020 and 2021, he missed the 2019 campaign. Before joining the Showboats for the 2023 USFL season, Collins missed the 2022 NFL season. In 3 games, he tallied up 98 rushing yards, 35 receiving yards, 1 rushing score, and 1 passing touchdown before being placed on injured reserve. Alex Collins' passing has left the USFL family in absolutely heartbreaking sorrow, according to President of Football Operations Daryl Johnston. He was a fantastic teammate and a football ambassador who played the game with such passion. In both on and off the field settings, Alex embodied the best of our sport. We express our sincere sympathies to Alex's family, friends, and teammates on behalf of the Memphis Showboats, the USFL, and our fans who witnessed and applauded his remarkable talents. At the University of Arkansas, where he ran for more than 1,000 yards in each of his 3 seasons, Collins also had a stellar career. On the school's career rushing chart, he is behind Darren McFadden in 2nd place. Statements lamenting Collins' passing were also released by the NFL, USFL, and Arkansas football. On Tuesday, Poland will host its largest military parade in decades as a show of might against growing tensions along its border with Belarus, a crucial ally of Russia. The Polish Defense Ministry announced that 200 pieces of Polish and foreign military hardware, 92 aircraft, and 2,000 service members would be on display to commemorate Polish Army Day on Tuesday. Some of the newest weapons Poland has in its arsenal are on display during the parade, including US-made M1A1 Abrams tanks, South Korean K2 tanks and K9 self-propelled howitzers, HIMARS rocket launchers, Crab self-propelled howitzers, and US-made Patriot missile battery systems, which are a component of the Polish WISA air defense system. Following Russia's decision to invade the Ukrainian peninsula of Crimea in 2014, Poland has recently emerged as one of Europe's top military forces after investing billions on new hardware. In the wake of the crucial role it has played in assisting Ukraine since Moscow's all-out assault, Warsaw's diplomatic influence has also increased. As worries about the presence of Russian Wagner mercenary forces in Belarus grow, Poland last week announced the deployment of hundreds more soldiers to its eastern border. Along with Belarus and Ukraine, Poland also borders Kaliningrad, a semi-exclave of Russia. Warsaw is sending a message that Russia and Belarus will undoubtedly comprehend by staging a spectacular display of might on Tuesday, experts said. It kind of has a Soviet vibe about it. Belarusians, North Korea, Iran, and Russia all celebrate them on May 8th. In a way, it reflects their language back. According to Edward Arnold, a research associate at the British security think tank RUSI, Poland will respond with a show of force because the adversary states view these parades as a show of force. In addition to demonstrating its capabilities to Russia and its allies, Arnold stated that Poland's government is also attempting to reassure its own citizens that it is dedicated to security 2 months before significant elections. A third consecutive term in office for the ruling right-wing Law and Justice Party would be unprecedented in post-communist Poland. However, it has so far been unable to decisively edge over the opposition's Civic Platform coalition. Since a war is raging on Poland's border, security concerns rank high alongside the economy and living standards, according to Alex Serbiak, a professor and the chair of the politics department at the University of Sussex in England. Demonstrating their competence on security is absolutely critical to the government's re-election, he added, noting that the problem crosses all political lines. Nobody will argue that military security is unimportant or that we shouldn't be bolstering the armed forces. Although they won't suggest that strengthening the Polish military is unimportant, the opposition will claim that the government is staging this parade as a sort of election show. According to Jamie Shea, a former NATO official who is currently a professor of strategy and security at the University of Exeter in England and a fellow at Chatham House, Poland's role within NATO has altered significantly over the past 10 years. If you look at NATO 10 years ago, before Putin annexed Crimea and began the invasion of Ukraine, NATO's main priorities were primarily the Middle East, Afghanistan, and those kinds of missions, in which Poland participated, but to a lesser extent. But with NATO shifting back to focus on Central and Eastern Europe since 2014, Poland's importance in the alliance has increased significantly, the author writes. Arnold claimed that there is a discernible power shift among NATO's European members. The leadership used to be the UK, Germany, France, and the US, and then together with the Quad, that group was the group that sort of decided things and that became NATO policy, he said. Poland has seen its opportunity as the UK has left the European Union and Germany is still unwilling to take the lead on Ukraine. They are very vocal about defense and security issues, have excellent relationships with the Baltic states, and Russia has always been a serious threat, so Warsaw seems like a solid option if you're looking at this from a Washington perspective, Arnold continued. Despite criticism from tech corporations over privacy and security concerns, the NSPCC has stated that the volume of offenses demonstrates why the online safety bill's groundbreaking protections are so necessary. According to police statistics, the number of internet child grooming crimes reached a record high in the previous year. Since the offense was initially established in 2017, a total of 6,350 offenses involving sexual contact with a child have been reported, an increase of 82%. Data acquired by NSPCC through Freedom of Information requests indicates that over the previous 6 years, UK police authorities have documented around 34,000 online grooming offences. According to the organization, a fifth of the casualties were children under the age of 12. In 83% of situations where the gender was known, girls were the target. In 26% of the situations where the method of communication was recorded, Snapchat was utilized. In 47% of those cases, Meta's Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp were. Children were targeted using 150 different games, apps, and websites. An unidentified 19-year-old lady claimed she was groomed when she was 15 by a man who pretended to be a boy on Uba, a French social networking software that allows users to participate in live-streamed group movies. If she waited too long to respond, he would get upset and wouldn't accept it if she ended their talks on the app. She told the NSPCC, "He just found me on Instagram and moved to messaging me directly there." She had sent him images of herself in her underwear at his request. She claimed he used the photographs to dominate me. Even using the restroom without his permission was prohibited. I was hesitant to tell anyone due of the photographs and his threats. He threatened to tell my friends and family about the images of me that he had seen on my social media if I didn't answer. The report, according to Sir Peter Wanless, chief executive of the NSPCC, shows how widespread child abuse is on social media. The volume of offenses must serve as a reminder of the importance of the online safety bill and the urgent need for the groundbreaking protections it will provide children, he said. The legislation's proposed rules are intended to increase the accountability of social media corporations and search engines for the content posted on their platforms. The bill is scheduled to have its final House of Lords debate next month after suffering considerable delays since it was first presented in 2019. Nevertheless, the founders of messaging apps like WhatsApp and Signal complained that the ideas allowing UK regulators to scan communications would jeopardize users' privacy. It's now up to tech firms, including those highlighted by these stark figures today, to ensure their current sites and future services do not put children at an unacceptable risk of abuse, the NSPCC said in a statement after applauding the strengthening of the law governing private messaging. One of the most recent photographs taken by NASA's James Webb Space Telescope was photobombed by a cosmic object that resembled a luminous question mark, and scientists believe they know what it could be. Herbig-Haro 46 of 47, a pair of young stars, were shown in the initial near-infrared photograph, which was published on July 26. The stars, which can be found 1,470 light-years away in the Vela constellation of the Milky Way galaxy, are still actively developing and are in close orbits around one another. Since the 1950s, ground and space-based telescopes have viewed and studied the two, but the very sensitive Webb telescope has produced the sharpest and most detailed image ever. Compared to other space telescopes, it can observe the universe using longer wavelengths of light. The Webb telescope sheds light on knowledge about the universe's beginnings, but the presence of this enigmatic object in the image's background raises more questions than it does answers. Since the cosmic question mark hasn't been closely seen or investigated, scientists are unsure of the object's history and composition. But based on its form and location, they do have a few theories. According to Matt Kaplan, an assistant professor of physics at Illinois State University, the very first thing you can rule out is that it's a star in the Milky Way. Because stars are point-like, they constantly have these enormous spikes. Diffraction is a phenomenon that mostly results from the edges of the mirrors and the struts that support the type of camera in the middle. If you look closely, you can typically see 6 or 8 stellar prongs with the Webb telescope, Kaplan added. He described the apparition as having the shape of a question mark, as it tells you immediately that it's not a star. According to Christopher Britt, an education and outreach scientist in the Office of Public Outreach at the Space Telescope Science Institute, which oversees the science operations of the Webb telescope, it could be a merger of two galaxies that are much more distant than Herbig-Haro 4647s at a distance of likely billions of light-years apart. Many galaxies outside of our own Milky Way, stated Britt. As galaxies expand and change over cosmic time, they occasionally collide with their nearby neighbors, and this seems to be a rather common occurrence. Although merging of galaxies into a shape resembling a question mark has occurred previously, including a backward version formed by the Antennae galaxies in the Corvus constellation, this item has never been seen before, according to specialists. According to Britt, most galaxies have experienced several interactions like this during their histories, but they are usually brief. Nothing can be anchored in space, according to Kaplan. The Sun is moving as it orbits the galaxy, and the galaxy, being made of stars, is moving in whichever direction gravity pulls it. Our galaxy will eventually merge with the Andromeda galaxy in around 4 billion years, although it is unknown how they will look. This integration is also our galaxy's fate, according to Britt.